Hey, what's going on, guys? VT here, ready for another week of the Volganos Translations podcast, a Monster Hunter themed podcast. This is episode 5. Not sure what I'm calling this one yet. We'll get to that in a little bit. So basically, today we're going to be talking about G rank, focusing mainly on how we got there and sort of stuff like that. If you missed it last week, I talked about skills and how you should not have Christmas-colored armor sets. And one small point I want to make about that is that you should not only fit the skills to the weapon and the monster you're fighting, but really make the skills fit together. So if you have something that, like Constitution and Marathon Runner, well, maybe you should think about some other sort of stamina-related skill. You know, don't just randomly throw a Sharpness +1 in there, even though it works for, you know, like it works really well for the weapon. It might not coincide very well with your skills, and it just sort of gets disjointed. So keep that in mind. But anyway, like I said, we're going to talk about G rank this week. And to help me go over that, I'm bringing in one of my longtime hunters, known very well on the Capcom Unity forums and a personal harasser of the Capcom Twitter account every year around E3. Please welcome Dagger. So how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good. And so you and I both made it to G rank this week, right?
Yep.
Through
that
lots
was exciting.
Of farming and repeated quests. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of a pain. Yeah, I got the G rank and made the Keizu Z armor set, which has good healing, and it's got that rationer skill that's really interesting. There's a few skills like that, rationer, and there's arcane and fortitude, and there's some weird ones out there that are like only specific to certain armor sets or certain gems or something like that, and they do like 3 skills in one or something completely outlandish. Rationer, for those of you who don't know, is whenever you eat something, like anything, potion, steak, whatever, max potion, there's a chance that you don't actually use it up, which is extremely useful in like egg quests. Like when I had it happen 4 times in a row, every time I needed to deliver an egg, my mega juice just never depleted. It was awesome.
I'm very, very jealous of that skill.
Yeah, well, I
do not have it.
I don't know if you can actually socket it in ever. I'm not sure if there's jewels for it or not. I need to look into that.
Yeah, I've not seen one at all, so...
Yeah, but pairing that with like quick eating or something would be phenomenal.
And wide range.
And wide range, yeah. And that's what I have it on with the Keizu Z set. It's got that wide range +2, which is obviously
nice.
Yeah, very effective. If only that worked for Mega Potions, I'd be able to save a lot more lives. There's a lot of noobs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get to G rank, well, first let's talk about how we got there. So it was a long, arduous quest for both of us, really, because in order to do G rank, you have to do a lot of required quests. That requires playing online because they're very difficult, especially trying to do your urgents, right? Did you ever have any problem with your urgents at all?
Yes, my Black Grav. Nobody wants to do Black Grav. Everybody wants you to do their Black Grav, but they do not want to help you do yours.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned that a few weeks back when I tried to do mine as well. It's just, and that's the theme of the whole online community still, even after, how many weeks has it been? 4 weeks, but it's been out, something like that. Yeah. Yes,
very selfish players.
Yeah, just
I don't like it.
Just super selfish. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't understand it. And so getting to G rank has been an absolute pain in the ass, especially trying to do Delameter, because that's not a short fight. That's not just like a regular mouse fight. It's like a long 20-minute to 30-minute, depending on how poor your companions are, especially if they die 3 times in a row, Scout PG. God damn it.
You helped me with mine. You know how that went.
Yeah.
I did not die.
No.
I feel like I need to say that. I didn't die. That wasn't me.
I died on my first run of my Urgent, actually. But we didn't fail, but I still died. It was very embarrassing. Luckily I had a max potion and it didn't happen again. I was just freaking out, sweating the whole time, like, oh god, we have to kill it because these guys are going to leave like as soon as we go back to the guild hall, no matter what.
Yes, I do love that fight though. It's so new and like it's like nothing you've ever fought before. It's not like a Lao, but it's the same size and it's very. I love it.
The Capcom video you showed today said that Lao was like 11,000 meters or something like that, or centimeters, whatever the measures it in. And Delameter is actually like 44,000. So he's like huge, but he's a huge, big ass long snake, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I love his design and all of his weapons and his armor. He's the perfect like high rank to G rank monster because you see everything you could make from him and you get that excited feeling all over again.
I like that you said that. It's absolutely true. It's that monster that makes you like, okay, this game is now suddenly 10 times more awesome than it was, and I have to make everything. Like, it just gets you really pumped about making gear. And his armor is really good too, right? It's got it has one of those special skills. I forget what it is, but it's got one of those
I don't know either.
double, triple skill things that seem a little bit overpowered, but it's fun, so I'm going to let it go because it's really sweet. But yeah, you made the duels, right?
I did. I upgraded them just once, and now I just need G-rank Kusha parts, and then I got it. But
oh, really?
I don't need him anymore, which makes me sad because I just want to farm him over and over and over.
Is there a G-rank version of him? There probably is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't need those parts, but who might have set out the weapon trees and everything? I don't know.
Well, it upgrades 3 or 4 more times. I mean, they turn into just beast weapons. I can't imagine going back to the village quests I'm doing now with these duels at their highest rank. Like, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, and that's the nice thing about, getting up to G rank and even to high rank too, is you get all the best gear and then take it to village, and it's sort of like, it's kind of a cakewalk. It makes you feel kind of like a boss.
Yeah.
And then
today I fought the 2 black grab. I hate that quest.
I have that one I'm doing tomorrow morning, actually.
Oh, they're frenzied. They're both in the same zone. Dung bombs don't seem to do anything. It's a mess of a quest. I died. I actually triple carded on it, and then I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then I tried it again.
And you managed to pull it off.
And I did okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring my water and sleep duels for that one, to try and bomb like the first one as much as fucking possible, just to get them out of the way, and then take your time in the second one, of course. Yeah.
I actually turned my cat into a bombing cat because I was like, okay, you're just not doing enough.
Oh, that's a little excessive. I don't know if I do that.
I was desperate.
You remember in Unite when you had a cat and it didn't matter what cat they were, they just bombed the shit out of you.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be like beating the hell out of the legs, about to knock it over, cut the tail, and all of a sudden a big barrel bomb running cat just comes at you. Boom! The fuck?
At least now they say they're sorry. They're like, we're sorry, we're going to hit you with our bombs because we're so focused on bombing everything. So we're sorry, but we're still going to do it.
That's
so they
true.
know it's a problem.
At least they're polite about it. So, yeah, there's a lot of farming getting into G rank, and not so much farming of, doing the same quest over and over again, which you should if you're trying to find armor or specific weapons, but just, trying to get the respected urgents done in your urgent specifically and get up there. But once you get up there, it's kind of nice because, like you said, Delameter gets excited, the whole game kind of opens up. And I think a lot of people are a little bit confused about, most games that have an end game. Like, what do you do when you get to G rank? There's no story, so what is there? And to me, I just never understood the question. Like, they asked me, like, I don't. What do you mean? I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. You kill things like you've been doing the whole time, and it's fucking awesome. And you just make like every single armor set you can. If it says new, you make it, like, because everything's so good.
And you have so many options, and that's like when the game start is G rank. Everything you did before that doesn't even matter. G rank is when the game actually starts. It's when you can take your time, you can make any set you want. You can be like, hey, this set has really crappy skills, but it looks cool, but you have all the time in the world. Just make it. Who cares? You'll never use it, but you'll look really cool when you go help, like, noobs.
Yeah, right? I mean, I don't fully endorse that, but yeah, if it looks sweet and you have time, then you might as well. But I'm gonna spend those parts on a weapon first. But yeah, no, I know what you mean, because the Celta Z stuff looks sick.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the way it moves. Like, it moves when you move.
Does it?
New.
I haven't.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm probably going to make that regardless. I have a lot of weapons that need Celta stuff, but, the armor set, I think it has good skills, too. It's got, like, Destroyer and stuff, so. Actually, the helm, I'm using in my bow set, which will come later in G rank, so at least I can justify it that way. That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't even have to justify your G rank gear because you're G rank. You're expected to have the skill. So even if your armor skills are kind of crappy, you're still expected to be able to play with what you make. So if you can't play without earplug, don't go making fancy armor sets without earplug. But once you get to the skill level of you can roll through the roars, you don't need earplug. then make whatever you want. You want sharpness instead of earplug, do it. But
preach it, and that's the
just
best thing.
Know your limits. That's what drives me nuts. Is you have so many G rank people who go for just the cool looking armor sets, but they don't know their limits, and then they die, and it's like, oh.
I was doing a high rank Kieran today, farming it because. Okay, I'm going to come back to this in a minute, but Kieran, expedition shit pissed me the fuck off. I was farming Kieran in an expedition-only guild quest, right? And there was a HR 130 something, 139, I don't know. And he's like, all right, I got this. You know, come in, and he's like, after this, we're going to do a Roshi. And I was like, okay, I mean, I guess it's a Kieran. We can do a Roshi. I haven't fought him yet, but we're going to do this one first. And he's like, fine. You know, and I believe one of his, like, quick type things was like, stand back and let me do this, something really cocky. So he goes in there and he mounts him, and I was like, awesome. You know, mounting Kieran is like, first off, the most realistic mounting scenario you've ever seen. It's awesome. Secondly, it makes Kieran so much better, like so much easier. It's insane. Also a little broken, I think. But we mount him, or he mounts him. Kieran falls over, beating the shit off him, right? Okay, well, he keeps chirping me with his fucking longsword the entire time. I'm trying to bash the head in and knock this Kieran out, right? Because I have a hammer. So, not good there. Attack at the tail, please. I know Kieran's small, but still, it's on the ground. You can attack anywhere else with the head. Like, I got this. Then, Kieran gets up and proceeds to combo him twice. Still has half health, right? Still fine. He ignores it. I was like, okay, it's high rank. I mean, I guess. You know, you have plenty of health for attack or two, but you can get comboed again. Gets comboed again. Still fine. Right? About a quarter left. Still fine. Ignores it, though. And keeps going. And then dies.
Oh my God.
Best thing, we kill it within 2 hits later. He doesn't make it there to carve. I'm like, you cocky son of a bitch. Like, just fucking heal. No one's going to judge you. That's the whole point of potions. Like, no, like you said, know your limits. In G rank, you're expected to be held to certain standards, especially if you're like HR over 100. Which,
yeah.
I don't. Why do the HRs keep going? That kind of bothers me.
I 100% agree. I actually preferred it when there were only 9 HRs, and yeah. I don't know. They keep going because you will unlock quests as you like get to HR 150, HR 175.
Oh Jesus!
But I mean, at least they did. They did in Ultimate 3. I guess I haven't confirmed this with any website. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, I mean, we unlock quests right now as we go, so I won't imagine it.
Yeah.
You unlock more as you go further. But
I don't like the 999 cap. That's too high.
Yeah.
It makes HRs feel generic and like they don't mean anything, because I'm HR 55 and I'm super proud of that. But then I like played with an HR 107 today and I'm like, oh man.
Well, the thing that bothers me is with, you know, the HR 9 or Monster Hunter 1 HR 20 cap, which is the highest I've ever, you know, bought a Monster Hunter game and played with. You got to the HR and it was great, you know, but you never really knew how good the person was. If they're HR 20, they may have been a new one. They may have been, you know, a very old player, but you never really knew. It kind of added that little bit of, I don't know, risk to it.
Right.
But now you see like an HR like 500 or something, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's going to be amazing, right? I can't wait to hunt with him. And then he sucks balls. Oh, it's like, what the, like, okay. So it's like there's no real, I don't know. It bothers me a little bit for one reason or another. I just wish it was locked in, so you just kind of had that. Looks like they're on the same page. Like, you know, let's all hunt together, not differentiate between what could be the very good and what could be the very bad. You know. Agreed
100%. Even today or yesterday on the forums, there was a post about how people are getting sick and tired of seeing G rank and it being HR 20 because people, for some reason, think it's wrong to just do the key quests. Now, I can kind of understand that point of view of don't just do the key quests, but then I look at someone like Scout. She's my sister. She's a hunter. We make fun of her for being horrible, but
we have fun with that.
But at the same time, she's in G rank. She's fighting G rank things, and she has high Tetsu, not even fully upgraded, and she's literally fighting with a paralyzing stick. And she's not really dying.
She's got a
like
stick.
That says something. It says something about the skill.
Well, and she paralyzes the monsters more than like twice in a round too, with their shitty ass weapons. So yeah, she's beating the hell out of it. She's not dying, which is very weird because I'm used to her dying all the time.
Right.
But no, you're right.
She's like learning. She's learning the monster's moves because her armor is so crappy. She cannot get hit. Mm-hmm. So she's learning to like be patient. And I think that a lot of people skip that part. They look online, they're like, okay, the best armor for high rank is this armor, and so I'm just going to make it, and then I'm going to have the best skills, and nothing's going to be a challenge, and I'm not going to learn to stand back, learn the monster's moves, and wait to attack, and listen to other players who know what they're doing. People don't do that anymore.
No, you're absolutely right.
I don't know. People don't want to help you. They want to prove they're better than you, and it's a horrible, horrible disease in the Monster Hunter Nintendo community.
Unless they brought headlocking back, you really can't go out there on your own. You know,
no,
it's a cooperative game, and you'll find that over and over again. I do it all the time. You know, I get a little cocky and I go in there, and all of a sudden the monster's comboing the shit out of me because he's like, I see you're cocky, like let's have some fun. And they know, the monsters know how to kill you very easily. Mm-hmm. It's programmed into them. And so it's an extremely good point. Like, well, going back to the skill thing, you know, you have to know your own limits, and one of the things is you have a time limit. It's a little bit of a stretch of a comparison here, but still, you have 50 minutes to complete a quest. So why are you rushing? Why are you going gung-ho in there, trying to be like the best whatever, trying to deal as much damage as possible in a minute when you could do it just as easily, waste less resources and a little bit more time, and get everything done. I don't know.
Yes, the evolution of the sleep bomb, when it goes flash bomb, sleep, lay bombs, wake up, flash bomb, sleep, lay bombs, wake up. That's not even playing.
No, no. Flash bomb trap thing. I mean,
I won't get into that, but that's not playing. You are not playing Monster Hunter. You are just you're just as bad as the hackers if that's how you're going to fight everything.
Oh, them hackers! Have you seen some around there, right? Online?
Yes. Oh my god.
The worst. Okay, so I haven't seen too many stat hackers as of recently, but the talismans, because I think that's just an easy thing to program for. It's just values you put in, whatever. But yeah, it's insane. I saw someone that got like 4 skills from a talisman. He's like, I got this talisman off of Los. It was pretty lucky. I was like, yeah, okay. You have like reckless abandon plus 20, sharpness plus 15. For some reason, you need sharpness plus 15. It caps at 10, and like evade plus 3. I don't understand how that's luck. It's got 1 slot. How the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, it's so obvious. And it's what you said earlier, those people, more often than not, are the ones that, like, die. They suck.
Right.
They're relying on their skills, and they can't do it. It's hilariously stupid.
Right, but it's also, like, depressing. It's depressing to see the series fall to the people who are the Call of Duty, I have to be on the top of the list type of people. Because it was never about that in the past.
Right.
It was about just everybody made their own gear. It wasn't about, oh look, I'm better than you. And I don't know when that transition happened.
I'll tell you when it happened. I will tell you right now when it happened.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you do. It happened a few years ago when fucking Nintendo took over this goddamn franchise and made it a goddamn child's play. That's when it happened.
You know why you have a point? Because when it was on the PlayStation system, it was so hard to actually play it multiplayer. You had to really, really, really want to. And you really appreciated the fact that you could. Because
that's true.
It wasn't as simple as just playing online. It was Ad Hoc Party. It was X-Link Kai. It wasn't just, look, I'm going to get on my Wii or my 3DS and play online. It was, you had to be passionate about the game, look up a tutorial. Half the time it was in Japanese. You had no idea what you were doing.
That's so true.
But I think that improved the community because you were with people who cared as much as you did. You weren't with the filthy casuals.
Right. It's like a fucking gen ed chem class, you know. Sure, you get through that, you know, you weed out all the filthy casuals and you're in orgo chem. Holy crap, I'm relating what I do to video games. This is terrible. But same concept. You weed out all the people by trying to get online, and now you're right. You don't have that barrier to weed them out. But we do have a saving grace, and it's that children's attention spans are very, very small. So hopefully in like a month, which is a pretty short time in retrospect to this game, they'll all be gone. And we'll all be in G rank, and everything will be great, and everything will be fine. It'll all be fine.
Those are my hopes as well. I mean, once everybody has access to white Fatalis armor, those hacking people are going to disappear. I don't even like white Fatalis armor, but, whatever.
It's stupid as hell in the past for males. It's got like a big old humpback. I'm not sure what it looks like in this one, but in the past...
No, it does look cool. I mean, it is cool. I can't wait to make Crimson. The skills totally suck, but it is so cool looking.
Fair enough. I unlocked Crimson in the offline, and I thought that was a huge jump in difficulty from, like, Rajang to Crimson, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not ready for this.
How did you unlock him if I haven't?
I'm better than you.
Or you did all those urgents after the 6. You did all those urgents. I have not done that.
I've done, like, everything except everything up to 9-star, with the exception of the white or the red Fatalis, Crimson Fatalis, and the first Caravanners challenge, which is Jinogwa, Tigrex maybe, and Shigaru. I don't remember.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. But it's 3 monsters: Jinogwa something and Shigaru Megala. But it's
Kieran. No, it's not. That's a DLC. Sorry.
Yeah, I really don't remember. I know the 2 are weak to ice, and Shigaru obviously isn't. But yeah. So, but that's only it's like a 6-star urgent. So I mean, I'm just gonna knock that off some afternoon, I guess. Probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be that bad.
Well, do your black grabs. You get a nice little surprise after that. I won't ruin it, but I was like, what? I don't know. I didn't read the text. I'm like, I'm not reading the story. Who does that?
I'll have time tonight after this. You got me all excited now.
You should be. I mean, I won't ruin it, but
no,
I didn't know that was happening. So I was like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. I know that the whole quest line is that's making a hammer or something, so maybe I get some free goodies. Do I get free goodies? If I get free goodies, I'm going to squeal.
I can't tell you.
All right, everyone. Tune in to podcast episode 6 to find out what VT was vastly disappointed by.
No. You'll be just... never mind. Okay, if I talk anymore, I'll ruin it.
Well, let's move on. Can we move on to something else that grinds our gears? Let's talk about expeditions, right?
Okay, oh boy.
Okay, so again, I was farming those Kirans today, right? And I found out a very disturbing fact about fucking Kiran now. One, it's only in expeditions except for, some of the DLC quests and stuff, which I cannot wait for. And all that sort of stuff. But expeditions are bullshit because you have to randomly, I've talked about this before, randomly fight a monster to get access to a different monster. That monster slowly levels up. So if you don't get all the low rank materials you need by the time it gets to high rank, you're fucked. Right? Same thing with high rank to G rank. If you need G rank parts and you get a low rank quest, you got to rank that monster all the way up, which we are trying to do tonight a little bit with your blue Kutku, right?
Right, and it's not exactly what I would call fun. It's tedious. They don't need to make Monster Hunter more tedious.
Yeah, it's already a grind. Why do they have to make it worse? I mean, the only positive thing about that is the fact that we don't have access to blue Kutku anywhere else. So the fact that we're doing it through high rank gives us hopefully enough parts that we'll get out of the high rank and we'll have enough to get to whatever we need. Then we move on to G rank, but still. If we need to go back to high rank, we got to find another one. Like if I run out of one, if I'm missing like one carapace, I'm gonna be fucking livid. Like it's gonna be ridiculous.
And if I ditch you and get myself to G rank, you get screwed, and that's not fair.
Yeah. I mean that is sort of the alternative, though. I mean, except for the fact that we'd have to hunt together. But if you get your quest to G rank and you give it to me, it'll still be in high rank, so we can do it. But we have to be together, which isn't necessarily convenient.
It's not. I mean, It's good for the person who owns the quest and is leveling it up. It's horrible for the people helping that person leveling it up.
Yeah, because they're really
not earning. You're not earning anything. You're not making progress. You're getting parts, but you're not actually making any progress.
Yeah. Okay. I was going on rank. Can we talk about getting parts and stuff for a second? Because I was farming Kiran, and I need seven Azure horns from high rank Kiran for one upgrade to duels, right? That's a lot. In the past, it's been a lot. But in the past, you could carve a fucking Azure horn. You want to know what you can't do right now? You can't carve one. You only get it from rewards.
Oh, no.
One from rewards.
No.
Only. And it's not even 100%. It's 80%, which means I did 15 Kirans this afternoon, and only 7 of them gave me what I needed. That means 8 of them gave me the low rank 20% chance, which statistically 8 out of 15 is not 20%. So I call bullshit, Monster Hunter. Again, you strike again with your fucking desire sensor, and I was pissed every single time I got one of those. I don't understand why you're going to hide a monster behind an expedition wall, so you can't even get access to it, right? Easily. And then you're going to hide the rewards behind, like, another wall? Like, you can only let me carve 2 things. It hands out, like, 5 different items. But I can't carve any of them? They can only come from rewards? What the hell?
Yeah, that's not a good... What duels are you making? Because I want to avoid that.
Really good Thunder ones.
Oh.
I mean, this upgrade gave me like 168 raw, which is not very good, but like 340 Thunder and a big fat chunk of white.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the first upgrade.
That's going to be your gold and silver weapon, man. That's great.
They get upgraded again, and they get like 3 times the white and like 450 Thunder and like 300 raw. So they get incredible. But again, I need 7 G rank Azure horns.
Should we rant about sharpness?
I want to. I would like to rant about sharpness. Please take it away.
Duels should have white sharpness in and high rank. Now, some of them do. Not all of them. Blue sharpness has always been you're at low rank, but you've upgraded your duels because you're playing awesome and you're doing great and you're working on your weapons. Mm-hmm. White sharpness has been the high rank, oh my god, blue sharpness means nothing. Purple sharpness has been, okay, we've hit G rank.
Yeah.
But with duels specifically, other weapons have white sharpness. I've got plenty of charge blades that are like, they're plenty white.
Do they have enough white? Because some of the ones that I have from different weapons, not necessarily charge blades, have like a little bit of white, but not a whole lot.
Narcillas are pretty good. I guess that's what I'm judging it by, because I love the look of her stuff, so I've made everything.
Yeah, and they're pretty strong.
Like everything. And they all have white. But like Rathian's charge blade and Rathalos charge blade, you're right. They're only blue.
Yeah, Rathian's has like the motherload of blue, though.
It makes it difficult because you're fighting monsters in high rank that you bounce with blue sharpness, and it doesn't make any sense, especially with a weapon like duels.
Yeah.
They rely on sharpness, and they're holding you back by not giving it to you.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is you look at the corresponding weapon trees in the past, and you see that the upgrade paths are, while they may end up in the same route, they changed it so you get the benefits later. So, like, just with the Kieran duels, I gain, like, 100 and some Thunder and, like, almost 200 Raw with one upgrade to the end. Where was that beforehand? Like, why did you hide all of that behind, like, the final upgrade? And that's the case with a lot of them. They just moved it all back a little bit so you get the rewards later, which, like you said, doesn't really make sense because you need it earlier.
Right. And I understand rewarding you for making an entire weapon tree. Like, you should be rewarded with an awesome weapon at the end. Mm-hmm. But they need to spread it out better than what they did, because most of my duels are honestly useless. I have like 20 to 30 sets of duels, and I don't even use them because I'm just waiting. They're in the I'm waiting because you suck until I get to G rank pile. And I hate that.
Yeah, mine
Or they need the awaken skill, or it's called free element.
Yeah, thank God I don't use any of those right now, or I'm not working towards any of them, because I always try and pick the one that has like the best element, and most of them aren't the awakening ones. So, at least for duels, I try and pick element over raw. That's not the case with many other weapons, but still, yeah, I don't know. And I think part of that is because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is only the second game in a series, or is it the first game in a series? They had Monster Hunter 4, but do we see that in the States? Because honestly, I'm drawing a blank right now.
We did not see Monster Hunter 4 in the States. Yeah. As much as I bitched at Capcom on Twitter, we still did not see it in the States.
We respect to that.
I tried.
That's for sure. Did your best. Yeah, well, and part of what I think comes about from this whole sharpness and weapon upgrading ordeal is that Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is sort of like the first establishment in the States, and granted they kept it the same in Japan, which I guess would be the second Continuum series, but look at the Freedom series, you have, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, or Monster Hunter Freedom, which capped out at a certain amount, and then you had Freedom 2, which added on to it. It was like an expansion pack, right? And so you had the pre-established weapons from Freedom, and then you took those weapons and just made them better for high rank, in Freedom 2. And then with Unite, you took those same established weapons and just made them better for G rank in Freedom or in Unite. So they had like a progression system where what sharpness you needed would fit where you were at in normal, low, higher G rank. And they kind of seem to have jumped the gun a little bit with 4 Ultimate in that sense. It doesn't seem to anything to really be lining up too much. So.
No, I agree completely. I don't know. They really just rely too much on that final upgrade, in my opinion, and they need to spread it out. It's making it so everybody's using the exact same weapons because, okay, at Rare 6, this is literally the best greatsword, or this is the best charge blade.
Yeah, and that's not Monster Hunter. No, not even a little bit.
There's no such thing as a best weapon in Monster Hunter, but they're kind of heading towards that way. It's a little bit of a stretch because you still have your elements, you still have your statuses.
Right, but the end game of multiple types is very difficult to compare to still, but on the way there, you have little benchmarks that can easily be filled. So
Yep.
So I mean, I guess that's almost good in a sense because they're really adding a lot of endgame to the G rank portion of it. Like, okay, now you really make your stuff really good, and that's really exciting. Keep you there longer. And I guess that's only the positive way I can think about looking at that as, and maybe what their thought process was. I don't know. Maybe
their thought process is once you get that epic end game weapon, it's going to destroy every G rank monster, but it will not destroy like the level. Whatever the level cap of the expedition monsters are, because those are considered the new like G rank, like the G squared rank or whatever would come after G rank. That is the leveled up expeditions, and that's what you're making those weapons for.
I suppose
is
so.
What I gather.
I still don't understand why we want to do those.
I don't like it. No.
Yeah. Everything about expeditions pisses me off, and I did that rant earlier, and I'm probably going to do another one later, so we don't need to get into that anymore. Expeditions are stupid. Good. Anyway, so looking ahead, we hit G rank, both of us, right? And now what do we do? What are you doing now? What's your plan?
My plan is to focus on armor sets for each element, and then from there, I need to make my decorations, and I love how they did decorations in this game. As much as we've been ranting, I have to point out that the decorations are harder to make. I mean, I have not unlocked any good decorations yet, none, but they are harder to make. But because of the equipment, the registered equipment sets, you don't need to make very many decorations. You just need to make what you need. You don't have to keep. In Unite, I had to make so many earplug jewels because I was lazy, not because of the game, but because I was lazy. I didn't want to unslot my jewels, put them on my new armor, and back and forth every time I changed armor.
You shouldn't have to, right? I mean, you get to the end game, you have like 50 different armor sets, and you have to look through all of them for like one protection jewel or something. Like that,
it's ridiculous.
That isn't right. If you can take it in and out of a socket, you should be able to exchange it, free will automatically, like this system is set up. Which you're right, phenomenal system. Absolutely love it. Use it all the time.
I just love it. Yeah. So my end game, or it's not even end game, the beginning of my game is just starting to make my elemental sets. Okay, this is good versus fire. This is good for water, and it's also starting to hit more into my gunning. Because I avoid gunning in the beginning. First of all, because it sucks in the beginning. Everything you can make is weak, and nothing. You don't have you don't have access to any. I prefer gunning over heavy bowguns and light bowguns because I spend all my money, and I cannot afford to be a light bowgunner or heavy bowgunner. I just don't have the money, so I always go with bows. But all my bows in the beginning, cheap coatings
and infinite ammo.
Right?
Yeah, and that's great.
They included the item sets, which also need a shout out. Oh my god, those saved me so much time. I think they've saved me probably like 50 hours so far of inventory management.
It's impressive.
Because it's just, I don't have to put anything away. I don't have to take anything else. I just go to my item. Oh, I want item set 6 because I'm playing multiplayer and these people suck and I need my dust of life and my life powder.
Everything to help them. I know. I've started to use them a little bit, but I fall in the trap where I use it and I'm like, good to go. And I forget, like, oh, this one doesn't have cool drinks in it, or well done steaks, or traps, or dung bombs, and fuck, I need to quit.
I had the opposite problem of, okay, I need to go mine, and I need to get some bugs before I finish off this monster. And I'm like, oh, I brought my set with my cool drinks, my hot drinks. I don't need either one. I've got my dung bombs, I've got my large barrels, I've got my traps, like, I got my tranks. Like,
and all of a sudden you're trying to, like, run away from Rathalos while trying to swap out for your rare scarab or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Yeah, so what I've been doing, at least today, I made some actually really good progress because I found some little sorry saps that needed help, and I told them we would take turns, and they were cool with it. Thank God people finally fucking joined my room. Again, another rant I did earlier. But I got some stuff done, so I started making some weapons, and my duels actually starting to turn out pretty well, where they really need, like, the, G2, G3 stupid classification monsters to finalize, to get to, like, the last upgrade. So they're pretty good where they're at for the most part right now. Finally have some white sharpness. So now I'm thinking with my KZU-Z, like you said, I might branch out to bowing a little bit, or make a gunning set. We'll see if I can come up with, like, a low G rank gunner set, something to just kind of get me up to my the better stuff later. But also I was thinking about getting into, like, insect glaive or different, really starting to expand my weaponry out now, because I think I have, like, 500 some quests or whatever number it is in duels, and like 100 in switch axe and hammer, or charge blade and hammer, and that's about it. So I really need to branch out a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice because you get to G rank, and then all of a sudden, like, you no longer have to start with, like, the very bottom weapon. You can, like, scrap the extra money and harder to get materials to start later in the chain, so you can just get a really good weapon right away, which I think is sometimes it's kind of worth the trade-off, right?
I love it. I honestly love it. I mean, I'm spending 90,000 zenny on one weapon, but
you can use it right away, right?
Exactly. I can make it right. I can make it and use it right away. And sometimes I can even upgrade it if I have the money, and money becomes less of a problem in G rank because you don't need it as much. You're making weapons over and over and over, but you're not, like, you're making so much more. Everything you can sell is worth so much more money. That money becomes less of a problem. And so you have so much freedom at G rank to do just whatever you want.
Yeah, well, and usually the monsters in G rank, you have to farm them over and over again anyway to get that rare item, which means you end up with, like, 60 carapaces or something that sell, like, 2,000 zenny a piece, and all of a sudden you're, like, rich again, and then you spend it all on the next weapon you're making because you finally got that ruby or whatever it was. But yeah, it almost balances out in a weird way at the end game, unless you save up all for one time and then you just, like, go ham like I did this afternoon. I went down, like, 400,000 and I was pissed. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
I've never had 400,000.
I hit $1 million and then went, that ain't right. And I bought, like, 5 weapons, and that was, like, last week. And then it dropped me down to about 5, and now I went up to 8 today, and now I'm back down to 400,000. So, but again, I've just been working with duels. I haven't really branched out, so I think I'm going to work with that a little bit. Especially...
No, you go.
I'll say, especially with, like, mounting being so prevalent, I finally got a mounting talisman, right? It's mounting plus 8 with 1 slot, which means eventually I'll be able to mount it for mounting plus 10. So insect glaive armor set is on its way. But for difficult monsters like Kira and whatnot, like, mounting them is just so much easier. And people don't know how to use it yet, so I figure I might as well learn and give it a shot. I don't know.
You can teach me then. I have tried the insect glaive. I think over time it could become, like, my favorite weapon because I love how it makes you look when you're playing. Yeah. You're so acrobatic. You're flying in the air.
It's definitely different than we've ever seen.
Right. It reminds me of my favorite Phantasy Star weapon, which was the double saber, and it's so new to Monster Hunter, but there's so much to think about while you're using it, and I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like the charge blade. There's a lot to it that you really can think about, and even outside of fighting with the insect glaive, like, leveling it up is a whole new process that I still have yet to investigate.
No, I have to look at a tutorial or something for that because I have I have not sold a single one of like the juices or whatever you get because I'm so afraid I'm going to sell the wrong one and regret it later when I try the insect glaive.
Yeah.
So I have like a whole page.
I have no idea how any of that works.
No, me neither.
I looked it up a little bit today, and apparently like your bug that you have to level up, I guess, has stats, and you can upgrade certain stats, and then once you get it sold enough, you can use like a smaller amount of parts to upgrade the glaive, maybe. But I don't know. Gaijin needs to hop on there and do like a fucking, elementary school tutorial or something.
One.
He does?
He does have an insect glaive one. He does. I haven't watched it yet.
Is it for upgrading them, though, or is it just for using it? So that's the question.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. So my offer stands. There's no offer, but he needs to do it.
I agree.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited for G rank. I wish we had more friends up there. I really got a bum rush to my other friends up there, at least Dragon Leader, because he works too much whenever our schedules don't co-align. But once he gets up there, then we have at least like 4 people we can rely on.
Right.
And then we can get in a decent room and go through the cycle of farming whatever we need, person by person.
Yes, I can't wait for that.
Dealing with fucking randoms, it's ridiculous.
And certain other people, but yeah.
Right. People that die more than Scout. Scout, you're moving up in the world.
I told Scout I'd give her a shout out. I did. I was nice.
You did, yeah.
Nice
you said good things.
I did. I was talking about my cat, though, who is named Scout, not Scout.
Oh, well, she doesn't need to know that.
Right.
I forgot about that. Fair enough. But anyway,
I can zoom my little brother up there, too, because I'm obsessed, and I've just made my siblings play it.
You bought it for them, right?
I did.
Yeah.
A whole DS and everything.
I want to do that for my younger brother because he's a cheapskate and he won't buy it, and he's never going to listen to this, so he's a douche. But he was really good at Monster Hunter. Best gunner I've ever played with, really.
What was his name?
It was the Fuzz 2 or Fuzz. I don't know if you've ever played with him before, but he put like about as many hours as I did into the first Monster Hunter, and then kind of phased out a little bit. Played a little bit in Unite. That was about it. But
get him going. We need a gunner. We need a good gunner.
He doesn't have a 3DS. I'm thinking about it. My tax return was pretty big. We'll see. He has to be good though. He hasn't called me in like weeks, so we'll see. If he calls me tomorrow or Saturday or something, and I'm gonna be like, I see what you're doing. But anyway, we're out of time.
Right.
So no, you're fine. So I just quickly want to let everyone know what's going on with my channel. Looking at getting my 3DS modded. Katsu Kitty came out with their capture kit, or they're about to come out with their capture kit. They said it's supposed to release between like the end of March and the beginning of April, but it's like a first come first serve thing. So that means if I send it in, I might not see it for like 2 weeks, and I'm not down for that. So I'm probably gonna wait until it phases out like a few weeks and then send it in because it's over in Japan. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on with that. But I am looking at getting a capture mod for my 3DS because I want to keep doing videos and shit in decent quality, that's for sure. Also, going to be making more weapons this week, maybe some more armor sets. So hopefully next week I'll have a whole new upgrade for you on stuff. And this weekend I'm free, so hopefully I can get... I'm thinking I might try and get like up to G3 or past. We'll see. Depending on what armor sets I can make and all that, and what weapons. But, yeah, so that's that. So how do you want to end this? You can end it with an awkward semi-silence, or you can answer a trivia question. Could be about anything.
I will answer a trivia question.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
If I don't know the answer, it's going to be awkward silent.
Well, that's a win-win for me. All right, let's see what we got. Not that one. Here's a good one. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Iceland is in the northern Atlantic. Its capital is Reykjavik. How fast could a penny fall if tossed from the Empire State Building? Is it A, 50 miles an hour, B, 75, C, 100, or D, 125 miles per hour?
It's 9.81 joules, the speed of gravity.
Yeah, gonna need you to stick to the A through D. Technically,
I don't know.
somewhat correct.
Somewhat
correct, but not quite. You have to take in mass in there, right?
Right.
Initial trajectory, air resistance, 50, 75, 100, or 125. Approximate top.
I'm going to go with 100.
You got it right. 100 miles per hour.
Always choose C.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it worked out for you there. So thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. Again, tune in next week, episode 6. Episode 6, I can count, to find out what my uber disappointment was or extreme excitement was after beating the dual black Graf. All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks again for watching.